been loving you a long time.
Rolling.
We are rolling. If we're rolling, we're slapping. Give me a number, slap a number, because I'm on 8.
Episode 326.
We are definitely right on this. Do not go back and count. Go back and watch every episode. This is SlapperCast. This is our weekly talk show, van ride, bitch session with Blaggards.
Yes.
Lich. We're leaving Beaumont. As you can tell, we're taking some of their insects with us, their remains. We had a Sunday evening, a dinner show, if you will, at the Logon Cafe in Beaumont, Texas. What a gem! What a gem that place is. Rock and roll bands. Do yourself a favor, especially if you're in and around the Houston area, or go to Beaumont. Talk to Chantel. Go out there, build up the clientele, the fan base out here. You will not be sad.
Nope.
You'll never regret it.
Never.
And they have a great sound guy there. His name is Craig.
That's right.
Yeah, cool guy. Definitely knows what he's doing behind the soundboard and all that. So,
No kidding.
yeah. 2 thumbs up all around.
I think Patreon's going to get a little rough mix of our recording we did.
Yeah.
We had a little sound check. We had
Some video.
We had a little sound check time. So we recorded a song, and you're going to get that very soon, if not now. So whatever happened to the old song? To all those little girls and boys. Come on. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, the ginger lady by my bed, covered in a cloak of silence. I hear you talking in my head. Yeah, it was just nice. We had like the boys were saying, we had a nice bit of time. Great sound guy, lovely room.
Yeah.
Said, give it. I have to say that was we just came off a Friday, Saturday, and today being Sunday. You know, so we're well oiled, as they say, and that actually means drunk somewhere. But as far as the playing goes, we definitely felt like it was in the pocket.
Yeah.
Everybody's locked in. Anyway, you be the judge. I hope you like it. We've been talking about doing this song for a while, so here you go.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Yeah.
Favorite song tonight, besides that one?
My favorite song tonight?
It's turbo interruption.
No, I'm Addie. I'm asking a question.
Oh.
Did I interrupt?
No.
Oh.
No,
Chad's got me all jacked up right now.
What the hell were you guys? What were you doing back there?
It's in my head.
Wow.
Just kidding.
All
Favorite
right.
song tonight?
Favorite song tonight. I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. God. There was one song tonight that I just remember just being stuck in it. And that's a good thing. Not like 2 stray dogs fucking up.
Not at all.
Oh, anybody jump in. I'm going to need a minute on
I
that.
like Rocky. I thought Rocky was pretty good.
I liked it was a running back and also Patty Public Enemy. I thought
One
those
song,
went pretty
bro.
well.
One song. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
so-
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go different. Galway Girl.
Yeah.
Really, what was different about it?
It felt smooth. I was just playing. I was like, when you're just playing and you're not thinking about anything, you're just sort of playing. That's
Yeah.
just how it felt. I was just like listening, playing. I could kind of go, oh, I'm listening to Chad. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to Frankie. You could kind of. I was just floating, just really picking the.
The analogy I've used before is like laying back on the wave, or laying back on the water. Just like I've said that. Yeah.
Okay.
The song for me tonight was definitely Slapper's Medley.
Oh, that was good too.
And so the reason why that was, there's a thing that I do, every guitar player does it, that strums. I mean, there's this thing that I do with my arm when I get to do it in time, and you just get to use that thumping motion, and it looks like you're just beating the piss out of the guitar, but you're actually not. You're it's quite a delicate strum. It's quite a delicate. I mean, just it's ever so lightly hitting the string, but it was that locked in the band. Everybody was just on the same wavelength, everybody speaking through music, and it was just I was locked in. That was the one that was just
Yeah.
oh
Cool. Yeah, that was good.
yeah, and I have to say, Slappers Medley, which if you're new to SlapperCast, welcome. But on our first record, we have a song called Slappers Medley, and the song has had so many facelifts throughout the years, and sometimes it was a little bit less, sometimes a little bit better. Today, this version that we're doing right now is my favorite because this is how we're doing it. But yeah, this one just had teeth today. This one had anyway. So why would you say? So which one did you pick, Galway or Paddy? Galway. So what was and you said because you same thing, you're floating.
Yeah, it was just like, oh man, like you said, you feel light.
Yeah.
You just feel you feel light. I could kind of go like this, and I could almost kind of hear the crowd too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
weird. I normally can't do that with my ears, but I'm like, oh man, I can.
What do you usually listen with? So
I can actually
listen
kind
with
of
your
relate
ears
to,
and not with your mouth, bro.
I can relate to what you were saying there earlier about just kind of like not thinking about anything. Really, like that's pretty much how I felt in Paddy Public Enemy today, especially during that bridge part. With
Good. Yeah, that sounded good.
doing a little instrument switcheroo and and so on and so forth.
So that patch we changed the patch right before. How did that patch feel?
Yeah, I felt all right. Just the biggest challenge was, I had it right next to the accordion patch. I just had to remember, okay, turn the instrument wheel dial counterclockwise. So I just really made it a point to remember that. Just had to move it counterclockwise just a little tick, and then voila, and then just move it clockwise to get back to the accordion.
So gotcha. So Chad, what was yours?
Rocky.
And Que Paso.
We've been talking about tightening up the ending.
Yeah.
So y'all been working on that. It just sounded. I mean, it's been good, but I thought this is one of the tightest versions of that I've heard in a while. And I noticed that when we got to the instrumental, because y'all playing the lead melody in the middle, I call it the solo. I guess it's not really a solo, but in the old days it was just the fiddle, and then Patrick started doing it. I remember when you first played it on your guitar, and it was like, wow, it was like a revelation. I remember the Carr brothers were there, and they were their heads turned, they were like, oh, cool. It always sounded great, and that's why we've been talking about going back and re-recording a lot of things. I still think we should go back and redo Rocky, if only to get the guitar in there, but also because it's just going to sound great. Anyway, but yeah, the two of you sounded fantastic. And I looked out at the audience when that part came in, and they just were all kind of bouncing when that instrumental bit started. It's just really great. And the endings, of course, really nice and tightened up, too. So,
that little tweak that we made at the end really puts the
definitely. Because I was just singing the song's praises a couple episodes ago. I really enjoyed that tonight.
Yeah, well, I wish I could disagree with one of these, because I'd love a fight right now, but that was I can't disagree, which is unusual. All right, I'm gonna ask you all a question.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Yeah, you should be afraid. Who are we starting with today?
What?
Who gets the first question?
Oh, bring it on.
Which one? You?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
What you got?
Yeah,
Green.
All right.
Oh.
That's it. Gangrene.
Yeah.
What's right? I don't know.
Best job, worst job.
Oh.
Best job, worst job. Oh, I can tell you my worst job for sure. I worked at a freaking car wash gas station when I was 18 years old, and I had to take the grates out of the ground
You told me that.
and scoop the sludge out and scoop it into a wheelbarrow, take the wheelbarrow over to the dumpster, and scoop it from the wheelbarrow into the dumpster. It was so disgusting. I'm like...
And that was just from one customer, right?
Yeah. It was like, I did it every day I worked there. And I go, why didn't they put a drain system in this place? It was like, because it would backfill up and you just had to get it out every day. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting something else,
Yeah. You told me about that.
Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think you even showed me the place, wasn't it?
Yes, Sundance.
Yeah.
The place was
Yes.
cool. The people were cool.
Yeah.
And actually, my now stepdad worked there. Gary worked there. When I worked there.
That's right.
He worked at
yes.
night. Yeah.
See?
So I like that part because I got to see him. He was cool. But
Wow.
yeah, the place was cool. Like I liked the place. The owners were cool. It's just a stupid part of the job. Like I was like, oh god. I mean, I never complained when I was there. I just didn't. But it was like, oh, this sucks. But oh, actually, I take it back. I have a worse job than that.
No.
I forgot all about it. I take it back. I'm taking that back. That's my second. Can I say that? I'm gonna change that. I worked at freaking Mission Linen for the summer when I was 16 years old.
Start again.
Mission Linen. It's a
Your
linen
dad's?
factory. My dad ran the factory for a long time. And so it's in Lake Havasu, and they serviced all the casinos in Laughlin. So the trucks would run. I mean, just, it was a huge place, right? And
Wow.
no AC in there. It was
Yeah.
like swamp cooler. So it's just humid and it's Havasu. I mean, you guys been there. It's just blistering hot.
Just explain to the listeners. I'll just tell real quick. When we were there last time, the time before last, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. This is nighttime, people. We're driving, and it's 112.
Yeah.
112. That's for people that like to see their numbers. 112 degrees, scorching outside. 2 a.m. And I said, "Oh, my thing's broken."
That's right.
And he goes, "No."
No.
And this is my turbo brusher, bro. No. Anyway, he goes, "No." He goes, "It doesn't cool down." And I said, "Get the fuck out." And then when we went back and picked him up, because I had to say I was sorry and wrong, but 112 degrees, 2 a.m. Sorry, I had to throw that in there
Yeah,
for your story.
So it's middle of summer.
I hate that
And
fucking job too.
They had like these trucks. I mean, they had the big diesels and stuff, but they had like the 18 wheels, but they had like the UPS size trucks.
Yeah.
And so I rode in the back of the truck, driving to Laughlin, and what I had to do was in between all the stops, I had to dump out all the dirty chef coats and count them because these casinos were like reporting numbers.
Yeah.
And then they would get back to the factory, to the laundry, and they would go, "Oh, there's 25 shirts short," and the casinos would go, "Oh no, we turned them in." And so Michelin was replacing all these because you can't tell the casinos no, they basically own you. And so my job was sort of, they had this whole pitch where they were like, "Oh, he's on a student program. It's like a student scholarship program." But really what I was doing in the back of the truck is I was auditing all their stuff. It was so nasty. I'm talking, there was maggots in the bags because they were, oh bro, I can't, it was disgusting. And I'm just back there in the heat all day, dripping sweat. I was like, this is bullshit. And so I worked there for about 2.5 months. And then they, once I got everybody kind of in check, they would go, they brought me in, and all I did all day was they'd roll a card out, and I would open up these big like queen king sheets, open them up, and I had to determine if it was stained, it went in the stain box. If it was ripped, but it could be repaired, like small enough rips, it goes in the rip repair. And if it was too bad, it was in the trash. And I just opened these things up for freaking, and I worked 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., 12 hours a day, just all day. Like, it got to the point one time I was so hot, I said, screw it. And I crawled in the cart, and I was like, I have to close my eyes. I was freaking overheating. And I crawled in the clean sheets, and I fell asleep. And I slept all day in there. And then somebody finally found me in there. My dad was so mad. He was so mad at me because he was like, "You're embarrassing me." I was like, I'm sorry. I mean, and then I was like, I'm out of here. I was just like, I don't want to do this job anymore. Like, this is crazy. Like, just buy new sheets, man. What are you doing? Like, how much are these sheets? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, anyway, that's my worst job.
Oh,
sorry, that was a long story, but
I know, I like it. Frank, same question, and longer explanation, please.
Oh man, that's gonna be hard to talk. All right, best job, worst job. So I'm gonna start with worst job, which, if I'm being honest, it really wasn't. It was definitely nothing like what y'all just heard.
Okay,
So,
we'll then make it up.
yeah, so I guess worst job would be was working retail for a little bit of time. I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh,
Yeah, rest in peace, Bed Bath & Beyond.
yeah. Bloodbath and Beyond.
pretty much my job there was to help customers look for their items. Sometimes I would act as a cashier, and I pretty much kind of saw just about every personality there. Like, most people were nice,
Oh, I bet.
cordial, and all that, but there were definitely some with like attitude problems and rude and all that. And
Is that where you met Greg?
we'll go with that, yeah.
Greg, a few games.
But the difference with Greg is that we talked it out like men after the initial incident, and then we forgave each other, and now we're friends. The rest is history.
Nice.
That little scuffle is water under the bridge.
So you said butter under the bridge. All right, best job.
So best job. Let's just say best job. I was at this job in College Station on Friday, this past Friday, and I was at this job in Brenham this past Saturday. And then today, Sunday, I was at this job in Beaumont, and I'm technically still at this job right now. Yep, you guessed it. Blaggards!
Oh, yeah, besides Blaggards.
No, so I said
That's a hell of an answer.
Not the. No, there's no the. Just Blaggards.
No, but it is the best job. All right,
Indeed.
that's good. That's good to hear. Trevor, did you give us a best one?
I did not.
No, I thought so.
Best job. I'm not going to say CB or the band. Best job is when I worked for Parks and Recs, and I was a camp counselor for all the kids, like the after-school program and the summer programs. I freaking love that job. You just hang out with these kids all day, play basketball. You're in the gym. I love the fact. Not that I love it. You get the range of kids. You got kids whose parents are like all in with them. They support everything, and then you got kids who never saw their parents. Like, it's like the spectrum of like the difference of their family and home, and you could tell that the time they're there with you is the best time in their life.
Yeah,
because they're going home. Because I got some gangster stories, like just dealing with that.
Yeah,
that was my best job, and I would love to see some of these kids now, like,
oh yeah,
side spinoff. When I was in Washington, when I lived in Washington, I was moving up to Seattle, so I was taking a tour of the company that was moving me up there, and I walk in and I go, Kevin Runyon? And he goes, Kevin, what are you doing? What are you doing here? I go, oh man, I'm good. I got a job here. I'm getting ready to give a tour. And Kevin goes, the lady next to him goes, you know him? And he goes, he used to be my camp counselor. He taught me how to play hacky sack when I was in like the second grade. He was like a kid, dude, in Arizona. And all of a sudden we worked together in Washington. Freaking so random. I was like, dude, he looked the same. I go, oh my God. Like, that was cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, he told everybody, he's like, this dude could hacky sack like crazy.
Yeah.
I was pretty good at that, but it was...
Funny enough, I had a similar story with that with my Bed Bath & Beyond job. Like there's someone I knew from elementary school, and then I hadn't seen him for, I think went to the same middle school, but then after that I hadn't seen him for years. But then I had started working at the Bed Bath & Beyond, and I believe he was already working there. Like, funny enough, we kind of reunited in that same way a little bit. So it was kind of fun to catch up with each other on the job.
Excellent. Chad,
Yes.
you're up.
All right. Worst, I'm thinking about this, and that's kind of challenging, but I'm going to pick one. It was my first telemarketing job. And it's kind of my last. So it was actually the first job I ever had. So right out of high school, the summer before I went to college. I was selling subscriptions over the phone for the Houston Symphony. As far as telemarketing jobs, I'm sure that's one of the cooler ones. My boss was really cool. A guy named Eric Munger, I think. He was actually a French horn player. A really cool boss, but I just hate being... I'm not really good at sales in general, unless it's customer service. That's different.
We're starting sex.
Well, yeah. I mean, if customers are already coming to you and they want something that's different, I can handle that. But trying to cold call people for something, fucking hate it. So I was there for 2 weeks and I made one sale, and it was like the woman just didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered who called. She was ready. She was waiting for the call. So that was a gimme. But after that, I was like, I told Eric, my boss, I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this kind of work. So, but so I never did telemarketing again after that. That was a lesson learned. My best job, and this was tough too, because there are two jobs I had that I think were the best. One was the video editing job I had before I moved to New York. It was a lot of fun and very well paying, but I think I have to put Calvin Klein ahead of that, because I did not get paid very well at that job. But when I worked for Calvin Klein in the actual design offices of Manhattan,
Modeling underwear.
Yeah, I did actually not underwear. I did actually model outerwear for the designers a couple times.
Are there any photographs?
Oh, we gotta find that.
I was the only. Well, there's no pictures.
Oh,
I have a lot of stories for you, Calvin. But it was a weird job for me. It was just like the last place I ever would have expected to wind up is working in the garment industry. But the people that I worked with there were just all so cool and just really appreciated what I was bringing to the table as far as all my technical skills and everything. So leaving that job was a tough decision for me because I really enjoyed working there. Again, money was not great, but that was a good experience working there.
Very cool. Worst job.
Never did that.
What about your worst job, Patty?
My worst job is very similar to Chad's. It was selling music. I was in South Florida. I did like living on the beach. I grew up on the beach in Ireland, essentially. But I do love the beach. Still love the beach. But love the water. All right, slow down, Rain Man. We got more here. So selling music is basically, it wasn't Colombian music, like 50 CDs for a penny.
Yeah.
But it was selling these music subscriptions. And if you bought the subscription, you got a free boombox. Well, South Florida back in the 80s, late 80s, was I used to joke with people that it was the U-turn. It was the U-turn of America. So people they'd come down the East Coast, or you come down the West Coast. It was it was by, you'd like it. And they would just rip people off and rip them off and rip them off and rip them off and just U-turn and go up the other one, do the same thing to the other and be gone, never to be found again. It was just rife with people saying, anyway, so this was a scam company, which I did not know. And so the place that hired me, I went there to have the meeting. There's 20 other people in there, and they're giving you the sales pitch. And they got that Florida man, with the, no offense, Frank, but the golf shirt and the creased pants and the, slick talking and,
oh God.
Just
Schmuck.
Yeah. And as soon as I sat there, I was like, man, I'd love to punch this guy. And I'm not violent, I'm never violent, but I wanted to punch him so bad. Just the, the gold link chain, no offense, Chad. And, just every cliche, bullet point, motivational, but not the good shit. The Walmart flavored, you know what I mean? Just that Walmart brand motivational shit.
Yeah.
That was essentially, like, let's go team. Like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, I cannot describe the greasiness of this guy. Just complete twat. Anyway, so we were tasked with, and it was basically a door-to-door sale thing. And you take the boombox. Hey man, this is yours. Remember how in demand those boomboxes were? It was yeah. And the place that they hired us was this just nondescript storefront. What are they called? Not the warehouse district. These just business districts. And they're just all these little cookie cutter. Everything's the same.
Yeah. Business parks.
Business park. Thank you, Chad. Yeah. Top marks. I would have taken an hour. And anyway, so they had boxes of these like all to the ceiling. So we're thinking, oh my God, they're committed. I mean, they are going to be giving these things away. This is going to be a easy sell. Well, the trick was those boxes were all empty. Nobody checked. All the boxes were empty. You sold the stuff. They got their information and ripped them off. Got their credit card information, ripped them off. And I didn't even get a chance to make a sale because they kept me and this other lady kept us in the thing we were doing, just bullshit inventory and whatever. But not inventory, but just
Tasks.
Remedial shit. Yeah, just so. But the people that went out in the field, a lot of people sold, and they all came back with the thing, and within a week they had up and gone with all these credit card things. Anyway, complete greasy, scummy, nasty wankers. Anyway,
So they had to trick all the employees, so that way the employees would sell it.
yeah, we all thought.
So it's a double scam, right?
Yeah.
You're scamming
Oh, yeah.
the people that work for you in order to scam for them.
yeah,
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's some gangster shit.
yeah. But it was the whole of. I mean, I can't do the whole far, but I mean, it just seemed like one of those. It's one of those things. I mean, it just felt like, I don't know this to be true, but it felt like Florida at that time was so rampant with those kind of crimes that you could call and report it, and they just go, nah, sorry, next. You know, it was just nasty. Anyway, that was the worst. Best job. I mean, I can't top rock and roll. I just can't. I can't think of any better trade than getting in a van with people that don't make you sick, going to places that you enjoy seeing, and you know, like even this, apart from the bugs, I mean, it's just gorgeous countryside, great roads, and then you get there and you're welcomed. You know, people are so into the music, and it's just a delight. So I'd love to give you another. I've had many jobs. Nothing beats rock and roll.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question about that.
So
Did you have a roofing job? You were doing roofs?
no, I never did.
Sunroof?
No,
For some reason, I thought that. You
No.
did. Or like you did it for like a week or something.
no. I did interior. I did painting on a construction site in South Florida as well. I also did I'll tell you what a cool job was, which a lot of people wouldn't like it. You can't tell right now by my lovely windshield, but I love a clean car. I love to wash the car. Love it. Still love it. And even doing it by hand. A friend of mine, no, let's just say an acquaintance, didn't really know that well. A friend of mine had a big van, so I thought he was a gynecologist, but he wasn't. But he had a big van with this huge thing of water in the back, and all these things. We used to go to the offices, and you go into the office and you get all the car keys. All the people, they pay you a fortune, and you go down, you wash all the cars by hand. You always use the building's water, but you had the water in the back in case they didn't have it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was essentially, again, this is the 80s. Nobody had tapped into that. You know, hey, you're using the thing, well, it's a kickback, you know,
Yeah. Using the water.
see ya? He's not in, no, he's not in there. All right, sorry. I thought that guy had rolled in the ditch,
Oh, shit.
and he was still there, but he's not. I saw the red tag on there. False alarm. It was a ditch. Big. We've had. You can't tell right now, but it's been insane with the rain the last couple of days, and that was probably from the other night. It was probably another one of these hydroplaning actions. Anyway, onward, soldiers. Yeah, so we used to go there to these office buildings, get the keys, and you wash all these cars. And of course, he had made all the acquaintances, so he knew where everybody was. You know that pay up front, blah blah blah. You take all the cars, so you're washing Bentleys and Lamborghinis, and you know, anytime you have to go to the shops, you just pick the nicest car. Woo! Get down there, and oh man, South Florida. Yeah, the food's crap. Yeah, there's a lot of crime, but the beach and some of the stories, pretty good times. Pretty good times.
Where would you rate the potato chip factory job?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that was one of the crappy ones.
Yeah.
But still, we made it fun. So if you've ever been to the shops here in America, 99% of you will have seen Cape Cod potato chips. I worked at Cape Cod potato chips on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and it really was a fun. You know, it's one of those. It shouldn't be fun, you know. It's like, hey, you're going to work in the coal mine, and next thing you're down there and you're having a, I don't know, piss up with friends. But it was just so much fun. So what they do is there's all these potatoes go down this huge conveyor belt. Sounds like the beginning of an Irish joke, but they all go through they get sliced up, dumped in. They use peanut oil. These huge vats of peanut oil, and you have rakes like you would have a metal rake with a wooden handle for raking your leaves. No, that's for raking the potatoes so they don't clump together. If you've ever had grabbed a potato chip and there's a few of them stuck together and you bite them and it's chewy, well, that's going to go back to Sarah. That's her job to make sure that doesn't get, and she should be written up for that. But I digress. So they go into this huge fryer of peanut oil and you rake them and you let them in for long enough and then they get scooped out and they go down this conveyor belt. That's where the quality control thing. Anyway, so one of the things that we used to do when you're raking them, you've got, because it's boiling peanut oil, you've got these big rubber gloves on, like you'd use for, like heavy construction. You've got heavy jackets on, and you're sweating your ass off. You got hairnet because you don't want any of this shit in there, and so you're just raking the chip. I was the line boss, so you just get to, basically walk them down the line, just see what they need. But there's these huge rolls of paper towels, and that's because you get really greasy and everything gets real slippy. So you just get the paper towels, you wipe your gloves off, and you go on. Well, we figured out if you dip the paper towels in the peanut oil, and somebody's raking the chips, and you stick it, basically on their arse. Their first tendency is to squeeze, and they squeeze the hot oil. Oh no! And it only burns for a second because it's, but oh my god, I'm just surprised that there wasn't like an emergency, some kind of
lawsuit,
hospital, yeah. But was
there no HR? Keep on potato chips.
Well, you're not going to rat anybody out because you got to see them again.
Yeah, dude.
But oh my god, yeah, that was I forgot about that. But it definitely wasn't one of the better ones. But that wasn't the worst.
It's just an interesting one too. It's not something you hear very often.
Kurt, my brother worked at.
Your twin brother?
My twin brother.
Kurt's coming to Ireland with us?
Yes.
Kurt,
And I talked to Craig today, my little brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's coming to Ireland with us?
Yeah.
Craig?
Yep.
Are you still married?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep. And so Kurt worked at Mission for, I think, 7 or 8 years, long time.
Yeah.
And this is, a little bit years after I did, but he was a mechanic there, and so he'd work on the machines and stuff. But he worked graveyard forever. And so I remember it was like 2 a.m, and I go, I'm going to go see Kurt. I'm going to go visit him. So I drove over to Mission, and I just walked back in there, and I'm going, Kurt, hollering. And all of a sudden I hear this tink, 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 tink. You're like somebody dropped a wrench, and you hear this. It's all muffled. And I go, Kurt? And then all of a sudden it's quiet, and you hear, Kevin? And all of a sudden he pops out. He's in this giant dryer. When I say giant dryer, size is van, upward, right? It's ginormous, right?
Wow.
It's mass production. He's like inside of it from the top. And all of a sudden he pops his head up, and he's so covered in lint. Like when he opened his eyes, it was like, bloop, bloop. Like, I go, what are you doing? And he goes, hang on a second. And he shimmies out. Dude, he's covered in lint. He looks like, I'm just like, what? And he goes, so he gets out. Next thing you know, he's arguing with the tech of the machine, and Kurt's yelling at him in Spanish. And I'm like, I didn't know my brother could speak Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that. And next thing you know, Kurt locks the machine. He has like a lockout, locks it. He's like, you're done for the night. And I was like, and next thing you know, he's like blowing himself off with the having lids everywhere. And I go, what was that all about? And he goes, I said, you got to push this button and you gotta wait. You know, and I can't quite remember the details,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and he keeps pushing this button, and when you push that button, I have to crawl in there and I gotta fix it every night. So I told him, if you do it again, I'm tagging out your machine and you're going home. I'm gonna you're done for the day, no pay. And sure enough, he did it again. And he's like, I've been crawling this machine every other day. And he's like, I'm done with it. Like, I'm like, dude, you need a new job. Like, he's just like, ah.
It's hilarious.
I know, but that's his eyes. It's like, oh God. Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got some horror stories there. Like,
Oh, I bet.
he was one of the big gates, you know, like the vacuum, like the big pull gates around all those hydraulics.
Yeah.
He was standing underneath it, they were all back there doing whatever, and he all of a sudden, boom, the hydraulic broke and the gate came down, bam, and he looked up and hit him like this, pow.
Oh.
They said when they came over there, he's underneath the gate with his legs out, right? Kind of like same thing, Wizard of Oz style, just legs out like this. And when they lifted that gate up, he was out cold, and they thought he was dead. They were like, he was jacked up, you know, but
He is. I mean, he has had so many close calls.
he has 9 lives.
Yeah.
He's got more than that.
I swear to God, he has 9 lives. Like,
That. Yeah.
he was wrecked.
Yeah.
Wrecked. And I don't remember what injuries he sustained. I think the nose was busted. He was all jacked up for a while, but yeah, dude, he got knocked out. He goes, man, I just happened to be underneath it. You know, you're just like, what are you doing? Like, you need to wear the bubble thing. You're the bubble kid. I think.
Okay, lightning round. You ready?
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask the question, and everybody's just going to blurt out their answer. Okay? All right?
Yep.
Same time.
Yep.
I'm just going to say it, and then we can. If you have any questions about why, we can ask that. But for right now, just blurt out the answer. All right, here we go. The time is 8:27 p.m. Sorry, y'all.
Is that right?
So,
That didn't seem right.
that's not right. This is right. So, the time is. What did I say? 8:27.
7 p.m.
Yep.
On the 4th of May, 2025. Forget everything you know. Right now, I want you on the count of 3, shout out the profession you'd like to do right now. 1, 2, 3. Mortician.
Jedi.
Chad?
Blaggard.
You said Blaggard? Okay. I didn't hear it. All right, I've no questions.
Did you say Jedi?
Say what?
I did.
You said Jedi?
Yeah, Jack. Yeah,
What's
yours
that?
says May the 4th, like May the 4th be with you. To those of you who understand that joke. Star Wars reference, Doctor, Professor.
Did you just
St. Patrick.
did you just call that a joke? I'm curious.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay, that was funny.
All right, I'll give you.
Sorry about all that confusion there.
So-
Doctor, Professor.
You
St.
said
Patrick.
doctor?
Doctor.
Okay.
What kind of doctor?
Like a medical doctor, you know? I would be like an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
I think that's what I'd want to do.
I
Oh.
could never be a surgeon of any kind. No way.
That's what I would want to do.
Wow. Okay.
Patty,
What?
what'd you say?
I said mortician.
Mortician, that's right.
Yeah. I'm just because you're never lonely.
I thought you'd say comedian.
Comedian.
Come on, man. I'm waiting for you to say, dude, I'm opening up the show. I would go.
Yeah.
I won't even heckle.
We didn't have to go because we're playing after.
Yeah, no, I'm go.
I'd never do that.
I'm loading up your gear, dude. Here's your mic. You know what I mean? You're a roadie. I'll just come up on stage and comb your hair.
Yeah.
Be like, dude, I got a hair tech now. Hair
Yeah.
roadie. Or hair roadie, that's what you said.
Heretic, that's fine. Heretic.
Let's go more lightning. What else you got?
Man, that's a
I
lot.
was trying to guess what you were going to say because you're like, it's 8:27, and you look down at your phone. I was like, he's going to say, what time are we going to get back? Like, I was already like, okay, I was doing the math in my head. I was
like-
trying to preempt
it's like
it.
the time that everything
What's he going to
is.
say? I'm like, it wasn't even close.
No, I just want everybody to know. We don't know anything. You just want to be something. What is it? So nobody wants to go to space. Nobody wants to. I tell you, no, okay, I'll tell you right now what I would want to do. Love to do. I would love to explore the ocean.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh,
I want to go to places in the ocean because, I mean, I don't know the percentage, but it's low percentage of the ocean that we've only discovered.
Yeah.
There's shit on this planet, depths of the ocean that we've just never, ever, that's where I want to go.
I'd like to go to areas too that are like restricted,
Yeah.
like areas of the Grand Canyon that you're not allowed to go to.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to the areas where there's the no-fly zones. In the
Well, they
Grand
can't
Canyon.
stop you now because they've killed all the jobs at the thing. So
Yeah, I just go.
now's
Why,
the time.
Yeah, why can't? Like,
I'll go.
what is it? Like, that would be cool to do, like a tour of like we're investigating the restricted areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's even if nothing's there? Like, why? What's it restricted for?
Yeah, well, I want to go.
That would be cool.
Yeah. This land is your land. This land, yeah, fucking hell yeah.
Yeah. Is it guys brights on?
Yeah.
Seems like.
Hillbilly bug. Anyway.
Yeah,
so-
I mean the ocean thing's killer because obviously I just went and saw an awesome ocean, so it was.
That's right. Attacked by a shark.
Yeah, it did happen. I wasn't even worried. Like I just go, this is crazy. Like you don't even see this stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So anyway, why don't we wrap this baby up? We are very, very glad to have you along on SlapperCast. We would love to see you out on the road. Check our website,
Yeah.
grinder.com/smalley, babe. Yeah, thanks for checking in. And we are, so I don't know when this is coming out. Hopefully you saw us in Nacogdoches. Now we're going up the East Coast.
yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you. You're going to hear some new shit real fast. So,
Yep. All
See
right.
ya.
See ya.
thanks for
See
coming
ya.
along.
Bye.
Bye.
Still there's a light I hold before me. You're the measure of my dreams. Yeah, the measure of my dreams.